Typically, it's pretty easy to tell Jedi and Sith artifacts apart from one another. One will empower the light side, provide calming or regenerative effects, while the other will corrupt the being to evil and empower the emotions of the darkness. The Jedi don't often associate themselves with building artifacts the way the Sith do. However, they are known for collecting crystals or gems that are strong and potent in the Force. These are usually legendary crystals that empower a Jedi's lightsaber to help them in battle against the darkness. Most Jedi crystals are very identifiably a part of the light side, while those that belong to the Sith are obviously those that bring destruction. Typically, lightsaber crystals are abhorred even by the near opposite factions of other crystals. For the Jedi, they ran the risk of getting corrupted to the dark side, as prolonged exposure to a Sith crystal was known to do that. And for the Sith, the powers of the lighter crystals often weakened their own, but there existed a single lightsaber crystal in the lore that both the Jedi and Sith orders firmly believed belonged to them. That lightsaber crystal is known as the Heart of the Guardian. Welcome back to the Archives, Acolytes. It's time yet again to talk about one of our personal favorite topics on the channel, lightsaber crystal lore. But before we begin our excavation of the Kyber caves, the crystals themselves have whispered to us that many who are present are strangers and have not yet subscribed. My friends, the crystals know all and can speak great knowledge to you, so ignite the subscribe button and open your mind to the daily uploads. Now, without further delay, let us listen to the secrets in the Heart of the Guardian. The Heart of the Guardian, one of the most widely disputed lightsaber crystals in all of the EU. Let's begin where we obviously should, its color. The crystal was a golden yellow color, and when placed in the hilt of a lightsaber, it produced a blade with a unique bronze glow and a yellow core. It was also one of the few rare crystals in existence that could actually alter the effects of other lightsaber crystals. Both the Heart of the Guardian and its sister crystal, the Mantle of the Force, both formed a collection known as the Companion Crystals. A lot of the time a lightsaber will have more than one in the hilt. A primary crystal and a focusing crystal. When placed in the hilt of a lightsaber, it will augment and improve the effects of whatever the other Kyber crystal it is paired with. This usually comes in the form of vastly improving the lightsaber's overall energy output. Its yellow blade is also notably faster than other lightsabers, causing it to be quite useful in combat. Described as lighter, swifter, more potent. Strangely, it does not appear to have any particular alignment with either side of the Force, but the Guardian remains in balance. Its balance is only tipped when it is paired with a crystal of a particular different alignment. This adds on to its already perplexing mystery. And that's when we now have to talk about where the Heart of the Guardian comes from. This is the strangest part of the lore, as its origins and history are completely obscured by heresy on both sides. According to the Jedi, the crystal was involved in the very creation of the Guardian of the Jedi Order, and what we mean is the path of the Jedi Guardian, the Guardian discipline that a Jedi can take besides that of a Consular and a Sentinel. Strangely, there is little to no information on when exactly the three paths were created and founded, as their ancestry stretches all the way back to the ancient days of the Jedi Order. Back then, the Jedi Rangers and the Jedi Seers were those that were the closest paths to the Guardian or a Consular. Foundations of the Order. The three disciplines weren't really established by name until after 25,000 BBY, after the Jedi had founded their second homeworld on Ossus. This is where the crystal got its namesake though, the Heart of the Guardian. According to Jedi prophecies, the heart would appear at a time of great turmoil and was told by Jedi seers that it would bring about salvation across the stars. But the Sith also lay claim to the crystal, yet their history is even more muddled. According to Sith legend, it was an object of their heritage. They claimed that once it was found, that the crystal would bring about domination to the Sith in all known space. There is no other information in the Sith lore or history regarding the crystal though, only that it singles a time of great conquest, war, and strife. We were inclined just to give its origins to the Jedi, until we learned more about the crystal. The Heart of the Guardian was lost for centuries until it was uncovered on Yavin 4 by a Rhodian inventor by the name of Suvan Tan, located around the time of Revan. He was discovered that both it and its sister crystal, the Mantle of the Force, carried with them extreme power, and he took them. At the outbreak of the Jedi Civil War, Suvan Tan abandoned the Republic space station over Yavin to avoid all combat altogether. Much later though, he was harassed by a Trandoshan and a group of thugs who wore stealth field generators, but was rescued by a redeemed Revan. As a thank you, Tan gave Revan a look into his private stock, where both the rare companion crystals were being held, believing that Revan would appreciate their beauty. Stepping outside of the lore for a moment here, the Heart of the Guardian and the Mantle of the Force made their first and only appearances in Knights of the Old Republic and in the game. It is completely up to the player whether or not they choose one or both of the crystals. Officially in the lore though, we have to state that Revan may or may not have used the heart, simply because it is a player choice. Also, we believe that the reason the heart is not aligned with either the light or the dark is because it's meant to underscore that you can take Revan in any direction you choose as a player. As an augmentation to your lightsaber, it will support whatever force alignment your crystal already has. This is one of the primary reasons why the companion crystals are so rare and expensive in-game. The crystals have no prerequisites on who can use them or how they're aligned, but since we want to dive into the true meaning behind it, we're going to continue theorizing what the Heart of the Guardian actually means. Since Tan located the Heart of the Guardian on Yavin 4, this makes it incredibly complicated to nail down whether or not it truly belongs to the Jedi or Sith in origin. Its name and detailed history suggest Jedi, however Yavin is traditionally a Sith-owned world. It was the planet settled when Naga Sadow escaped during the Great Hyperspace War. Naga arrived with a ship full of Massassi slaves and an entire trove of artifacts. While there, he conducted many experiments and built great monuments and temples to himself. Around 1,000 years later, Exar Kun would travel and arrive to Yavin 4 and would become the heir to Naga Sadow's legacy. It would be Exar who would conquer the descendants of the Massassi and enslave them once again, building even more temples and monuments to himself while conducting more dark side experiments and deep study. He plundered the knowledge of Friedan Nad and Naga Sadow, becoming an expert in Sith sorcery and alchemy. It was here when he fashioned the horrific Sith war beasts like the Terminus, creating a myriad of terrible artifacts. There is definitely a possibility that the Heart of the Guardian could have been one of these artifacts created by either Exar or Naga Sadow, but we actually believe this is unlikely. Exar took great care to ensure that all things he were created were as evil and as corrupted as possible. Nothing he made was not totally tainted and absorbed with the dark side. It is possible that he created a lightsaber crystal which was destined to bring forth the dominion of a new Sith empire. But there is one detail that should not be overlooked. Right before its destruction, Exar Kun pilfered the Jedi Temple on Ossus for all Jedi artifacts he could find. He specifically, though, went after a collection of ancient Jedi lightsabers. But it was Master Ud Banar who sacrificed himself to protect this collection from Exar. He transformed himself into an invincible tree to cover the ancient lightsabers so that Exar would never find them. But in the temple, it is very possible that the Sith Lord took the Heart of the Guardian since he was searching for lightsaber-related paraphernalia. It makes sense that he would want the crystal since it was a powerful dueling tool. However, by the fact that it wasn't corrupted irrevocably to the dark side while in Exar's possession, perhaps he didn't have time to, or perhaps he even couldn't. Perhaps the two crystals were too powerful for even Exar, which would truly be a testament to their potency. But either way, as time wore on, the Heart of the Guardian was largely forgotten. Both the Jedi and the Sith forgot about it, until it was reclaimed by Revan, quite appropriately. It is assumed that these crystals remained in Revan's collection until his death. In that way, the Heart of the Guardian truly arrived at a time when it was needed the most. But it wouldn't be too long afterward that Darth Nihilus and the Sith Triumvirate would arrive on the scene, so the crystal also showed itself when the Sith began dominating the galaxy at large. In a weird way, it sort of fulfilled both prophecies. But what do you think, my friends? Is the Heart of the Guardian Jedi or Sith in origin? Does it represent a great time of dominion and darkness in the galaxy for the Sith? Or a time where the Jedi will claim their crystal and fight back the darkness? Or could it even represent both? And if you found the crystal on your playthrough of KOTOR, did you claim it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, my friends. And as always, thank you so much for watching the channel and the archives, and may the Force be with you.